Hello dear friends, you are welcome to Lulu's Food Court /wellness. I am happy to have you back again, and if you are new to this channel, please, I want you to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And this is because you are going to be educated on this channel. I am going to share ideas with you on issues related to health and wellness, and as well as cooking and recipes. Okay, I would like you to stay tuned to this channel, share to families and friends, and let us all remain happy together. Now guys, let us dive into it. The topic I am going to be discussing with you today is just related to mental health, wellness and well-being. This topic is titled excessive saying of sorry. In other words, over-apologizing. So guys, have you found yourself in a situation where you have to say sorry every time, or where you say sorry every time unnecessarily? I know this, actually, to be candid, it happens to me, and I know that it also happens to majority of people around the globe. I can bet it with you that most people do this without knowing, or sometimes they just do it consciously. So my dear friends, people constantly say sorry for so many reasons, and this could be that they have this feeling of wanting to please someone, or so maybe they want to please someone else, so they always find themselves saying sorry, to make the other person feel comfortable, and also to make them feel that they are kind of accommodating. Okay, another reason why people say sorry so much is when they have feelings of guilt. Maybe they have done something wrong, and they think that's the only way to try and solve the problem, by always saying sorry, so that the other person feel acceptance of them. Saying sorry could even be a sign of some mental health issues, which I am going to outline to you soonest. Come to think of it, guys, have you ever apologized when somebody bumped into you? Now, it's not your fault. Somebody bumped into you, and then there you go, apologizing, saying sorry. Say for instance, you couldn't respond to an email that came in the middle of the night while you are still sleeping, and then the next thing you went doing is to apologize for not responding to this email. So those are the things I am talking about right now. Although it's a good thing to say sorry if it is necessary, if there is need for it, but when you oversay it, or when you say it for the wrong reason, that is when it becomes an issue. If you find yourself constantly apologizing every time, it will really be useful for you to take a moment to consider if the fault was actually from you, if there was anything that you have done wrong, or you're just over apologizing. Generally, let's just take some time to buttress on why people over apologize, because there must be a reason for it, right? Over apologizing can happen for varieties of reasons, and some of the common reasons include: one, the feeling of guilt, false guilt. Okay, now this person starts to feel guilty for a reason that he or she knows nothing about. Start apologizing for no reason. You're not responsible for the situation, it wasn't your fault, and then here you go, apologizing for what you didn't do. Another reason is what I call carried guilt. This is type of guilt that is transferred, or let me say inherited, from somebody else. For instance, someone else commits an offense and they are not even feeling guilty, and there you go, you apologizing for what you didn't do. You're apologizing because the other person didn't apologize. That's carried guilt. It was never your fault, so you don't have to apologize. So whoever has committed the offense should face the consequences squarely. The third reason I will give why people over apologize is what we call people pleasing. Some people, they just want other people to feel happy. They want other people to accommodate them, and they don't want people to think too bad of them, and so they go out of their way to please the other fellow. Whereas sometimes it is birthed out of insecurity, out of low self-esteem, out of not being able to take control. They are trying to motivate other people just to keep them happy at their own expense. This set of people who goes out of their way to please people always think that they are not good enough, and they are not worthy of others' space. They are not worthy of other people's time and attention, and so they would rather apologize profusely so that they can feel wanted, or they can also feel belonged. And the fourth reason, which is the last one here, it's some people over apologize because they suffer some mental health disorder, and disorders such as depression. You find some people who are depressed, saying sorry for what they haven't done, or because they don't know, no, it's like it's a disorder for them. So people will have social anxiety, where they want to, they cannot fit in socially in a particular setting, and they're trying to socialize, and by so doing, they find themselves seeking approval, seeking attention by apologizing and saying sorry and all that, so that people can like them, whereas and we also have people with a obsessive compulsive disorder. You can find some people who have this type of disorder apologizing profusely for no reason. And the last on my list is PTSD. Is a state of post-traumatic stress disorder problem, where they find themselves always apologizing, so that there won't be conflict, or there won't be a repeat of the situation they may have been through in their life before. Now, let us talk about the dangers of over apologizing. Guys, by saying sorry or using the word sorry at all so many times, at home or wherever, even at your workplace, has its cause and effect. Yes, if you ask me. So I am going to tell you more on this, and I want to say that it's kind of subconsciously shows that you are seeking reassurance. Oftentimes when people over apologize, it kind of undermines the validity of their statement. Yeah. And also, it goes to show that they lack confidence in expressing themselves, and as well as in asserting their needs. Over apologizing is a common symptom among people who have low self-esteem, and those people fear what others think about them, and also they fear conflict. And that is why you find out that rather than facing the problem squarely, they would result into apologizing, whether they are the cause of the problem or not. They just find themselves saying sorry all the time. They will accept blame for things that they didn't do, or things that they couldn't have control over, because they just couldn't help themselves. They instantly feel guilty over everything. They just feel everything is their fault. And so you find people like this apologizing too many times. Let's narrow this whole thing down to work environment. Yes, and that is where I am mostly concerned about. Just like saying sorry, sometimes could just be an involuntary reaction, something that just came out of proportion. You don't even know when you say I'm sorry, for some people, whereas others just feel the need to be genuinely polite, and I am in that category because I just like to be polite with everyone around me. But you know what? I just want you to know that it is not a good habit to find yourself always saying sorry every time, with or without mistake. You just say sorry. That's not being polite. You might think it's being polite, but that is not. Perhaps it could even be a kind of diversion from conflict. Yeah, some people would rather just say sorry than to face the conflict. So for them, it's like an aversion to conflict kind of thing to do. And also, I would like to tell you, if you find yourself in this situation, you try and correct yourself and tell yourself that you don't have to always say sorry. You do not have to always say sorry. Lastly, why some people always hold themselves back in their workplace is because they are concerned about what other people might think about them. Yes, some people are really concerned about what people will say, what they will think about them, the impression people have about them, and they don't want to feel rejected and all that kind of thing. So because of that, you have to act nice and good, and by doing so you keep apologizing, you keep saying sorry. You don't want to feel you don't want to people to think you're a bad person. My dear, if you are in this category, today I want you to drop it. I want you to work on yourself and learn not to always say sorry. Here are the common phrases that people use when they are trying to express themselves at work. They will say something like, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you sooner. Sorry to bother you. Then they will go again and say, sorry, I could not make this meeting. Sorry, I haven't thought this through. Then the one that baffles me most is when you say, sorry if this doesn't make sense. What? You don't need to say sorry. It's not your fault if it is not your fault. You just have to explain the situation, okay? Now, not to say sorry. I'm willing to bet with you that most of us find ourselves doing this, even me that I'm talking here. But we are learning. It's a learning curve. We're all learning and trying to improve, ourselves. And that's the reason why this channel is created. So I learn from you and you learn from me. And I hope I'm making sense, guys. Alright. When you find yourself always doing this, saying sorry all the time, you know what? You just undermine yourself and your opinions. And that could even lead to you feeling excessive self-guilt. And you don't need that for yourself. Okay, you need to stand up for yourself and express your mind, express yourself. You don't need to say sorry. You just have to just say it the way it is. Be assertive. With each apology, you're constantly giving away a little bit of your confidence. And this can seriously affect the way you see yourself as a human being. When you want to express remorse, because certain time when we do something wrong and we are being remorseful, okay, please try not to express your remorse in a type of way where you subdue yourself into saying sorry too much, okay? And express your remorsefulness in a way that will promote at least your self-esteem, okay? And then will give you some sense of feeling of power, which shows that you're in control of yourself, and also to maintain your integrity even though you're still expressing remorse. In that way, people will take you seriously, and then they're going to respect you for whom you are, and they're going to know that you have the ability, okay, to make choices. You have the ability to express yourself and say your opinion without, fear of conflict. And you may think that you're displaying yourself as someone who is nice and caring, but you are actually sending a message that you lack confidence and you are ineffectual. Yes, in a work setting, that is what it is. My dear friends, in your workplace, when you are sharing thoughts and ideas or opinion with other people, kindly pay close attention to the type of language that you use. Okay, you can just simply adjust your words. You mean the same thing, but just adjust your word in such a way that it will not be undermining, and it will not be to your own detriment. Always put yourself on high at this level. Instead of using apologetic phrases, instead of you saying sorry for keeping you too long, you can say thank you for your patience. Do I have a moment? I am unable to attend the meeting. I have a different take that I'd like to share. These are my initial thoughts. So those are just the common example. Okay, so you can go find out for yourself on how to be more assertive and still make sense. You have demonstrated to others that you still own your thoughts, you own your opinion and your perspectives. This helps you to share your thoughts, your ideas and perspective with confidence, knowing that you have something to offer. Finally, guys, you see, worrying too much on what other people might think about you or how they might perceive you, worrying so much about it will not only undermine your opinion, your thought, and your total well-being, but it will prevent you from being confident and also will make you to lack, self esteem. And that goes to show that you will remain kind of unhappy. It can steal your joy. It can make you really